Hello, good morning, and welcome to my weekly series, Reconnect. I'm Faye Semple, and I am the spiritual and energy embodiment coach for successful female entrepreneurs. I help women embody their power and purpose so they can increase their impact and income. I do this through a variety of strategies of working with energy, working with mindset. So this is my weekly series to come on and give you some useful tips and hints to help you navigate your way through life so that you can make the best of things. So let me know how you're doing today. How are you feeling? Let me know if you're here on live, if you're here live, or if you're here on replay. I can see people are watching. So let me know who you are. Give me a thumbs up, give me an emoji, give me, a comment. Let me know how you're feeling today. Are you feeling, 10, firing on all cylinders, absolutely loving life? Or are you feeling a little bit rocky with everything that's going on? It's understandable. We're in a period of huge change, huge transition, societally and individually. And these have a definite effect on our personal identity, our identity of who we are, what we can achieve, our place in the world, and many, many other things. So yeah, I'm just going to refresh the page so I can, my Facebook page, sorry, I'm just looking around the corner, so I can share this on my profile as well, so that as many people as possible can benefit from the pearls of wisdom that I am about to impart. But yeah, no, seriously, anybody who knows me, I've been, had a complete life change. I used to be in a very, very abusive marriage. I was a former alcoholic. Came from a very dark place to creating the life that I'm in now. So I really wanted to help other women do the same, not just those who can invest in working with me, but women who just need that little bit of a boost every week. So this is what this series is all about. So yeah, let me just know how you are while I get my notes up. So today we're here to talk about finding your purpose, because it's quite a thing, isn't it? Knowing what we came for. We decided to have this incarnation. We decided to come into this life, and we came with a master plan. We came with an idea that this is what I wanted my soul to experience, whether it be abundance, or mine was definitely a boundary issue, or just, we come in with these lessons to learn, that stuff that we didn't deal with last time, karma as it's called, unresolved issues, we brought those in with us. But we also brought in with us what's called our dharma, our life's path. What do we want to achieve? And we can get so tied up sometimes in dealing with the past that we can forget to live in the present. We can get so hung up in dealing with what we perceive to be karma, when actually some of that can just be managing life. And that can be our path, that we don't have appropriate boundaries, that we're struggling to speak our truth, that we're struggling to be heard. So there are many things that we can get tied up with that can lead us to leave quite a small life, where we don't feel we're showing up as we should. We don't feel we're living our purpose. We're sort of generally just going through the motions every day of getting up, doing what needs to be done, and going to bed. And that's not actually living. That's not living our purpose as we came to live. So I want to, if you're stuck in a job or not doing what you want, like I was, stuck in a relationship that didn't serve me, I had this job, I also had this as a side hustle. I knew I wanted this to become my work, my career. I wanted to help other women. So how do we do that? How do we find our purpose and know that we want to do? So I've got some questions really that I want to pose that you can ask yourself today. So the first one is to really get clear on what it actually is you want. Your purpose is hidden in your wants. So one of the things I want to do is help women. I also want to publish some books. I want to be a fantasy writer. That's another thing I want to do. So that's one of my goals. Your goals may be you want a career transition, that you want to lose weight, that you want to find the perfect partner, that you want to start your own business. But it's really important to get clear on those. And one of the things that we do to map that out is like desire mapping. So map out your perfect day. Describe it in detail. Where do you live? What are you wearing? What do you do for a living? Who are you meeting? What does your house look like? Get that image really clear in your head of what you want your life to look like, because that's going to be the vision that pulls you, and the action is the thing that's going to take you there. So once you've got that clarity on what you want, you need to set yourself some timescales on how you're going to do it. So I set an income goal every year. I want to earn this year, and then I break that down into monthly goals. And then I know what I need to do in my business, what actions I need to take to generate those sales. I listen to the women in my group so I can provide what they want, and then I can create that for them. So put a time scale, get clear, and then put a time scale on what you want to do. So goal setting is incredibly important. So how do we, goal setting is a very personal thing. So it really is aligned to your values when you set those goals. What's important to you? It's no good really setting a goal that isn't meaningful to you, that you don't feel in here, because if you're not feeling it, you're just not going to do it. You're going to look at it and go, yeah, it sounds like a good goal in theory, and I think I might start to do something towards it. But you'll lack the impetus and you'll lack the drive because it doesn't resonate with the values that you have as a person. It's just not there. You're not what we call aligned to it. And then that's really important because you need to be aligned to it to take the actions. So the first one is really, what do you want? That was question number 2. And then question number 3 is, have you set your goal? Question number 2, sorry, I can always do this every week, hold up the wrong fingers and say the wrong number. Question 2 is, I've lost the plot now. Question 1 was, what do you really want? Question 2 is, have you set goals around those? Goals with a definitive timeline around what you want, so that you're very clear and you're clear within a schedule of what you want. And then question 3 is, do you understand the aligned actions that you need to take to get there? So what we talk about, taking aligned action. Now, aligned action doesn't necessarily feel good sometimes, because most things that we want are on the other side of fear. Most things that we want are on the other side of those blocks that we withdraw from, because that's our growth. There is no growth without friction. So taking aligned action doesn't always necessarily feel comfortable. So for instance, when I was in my abusive marriage, obviously the aligned action I needed to take was to free myself and my children from that entrapped situation where we were vulnerable, where we were being abused. Now, did that aligned action feel good? I was terrified of leaving, terrified of the repercussions. I was going to be having nowhere to live. I would lose my job overnight because I worked from home, had a business at home. So I would lose everything. Did it feel good? In many respects, no. The immediacy of it did not feel good, but I knew that it had to be done. I knew that it was going to challenge me, and I knew that it was going to be scary, and I knew it was going to push me through really difficult circumstances to free myself from that abusive relationships, because abusive men do try and cling on in whatever way they can, through continued financial abuse or stalking or whatever it may be. But I still knew it had to be done. So aligned action doesn't always feel good. So get clear on what needs to be done, and you have to put your big girl pants on and be honest about it. If you know you're not in the right relationship, you've got to take steps to deal with that. You can't just brush it under the carpet. If you want a career change, you've got to think, well, don't want to do this job anymore, and I want to do that. What skill set do you need to invest in? How do you need to develop to get the job that you do want? And you've got to take the aligned action to get those skills and develop yourself in that way. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do it. Manifestation isn't just hoping and wishing that a bag of money is going to land on your bed overnight. We have to take the aligned actions to generate a new reality that is going to give us what we want. So question 3 is, what actions do you need to take, really, if you're honest, brutally honest with yourself? Where do you need to change, and what do you need to do? How do you need to grow? And then the next bit really is about being receptive. So be on the lookout for things to come to you, because the universe sends us signs and symbols all the time. It sends us these little nudges, little virtual etheric postcards that say, look this way. But we need to be open and look for those opportunities. Opportunities don't necessarily come how you think they're going to come. We might think, oh, I'm going to apply for that job, and the universe, I really want that job, or I really want to start my own business, and it doesn't come, but something else has presented itself, and you think, but I really wanted it to come that way. but allow the universe to send you things that you hadn't thought of. Be brave to take the unusual opportunities sometimes, because therein lies the secret to manifesting a new reality. You know, before I got married, I was one for taking all manner of weird and wonderful jobs in totally unrelated fields when the opportunity came up. And I'm now multi-skilled in many disciplines because of that, which stood me. When I was doing that in my 20s, I had no rhyme or reason why to do that. I couldn't see why these things were happening. But I would get a strong instinct, a strong intuition when someone said, you know, you've got quite a good eye for art. Why don't you come and learn how to develop photographs? At the time, I was doing something completely different. Hadn't entered my head to become a photography developer and developing photographs and learning all about that kind of thing. It later became apparent that was a really useful skill for something that happened 20 years later. So it's like, don't knock opportunities just because you can't see where they're going to lead. Sometimes we have to lead with faith that the universe is presenting something to us. We can't see the end product. It's out there ahead of us, but our higher self can. So notice things that are happening. Notice things that keep repeatedly showing up in your life that you think, oh, that's strange. The second person's mentioned that book to me, or I've seen that advert for that, you know, art class. This is the third time I've noticed it this week. Those are the signs and symbols the universe sends you. It doesn't send you them wrapped up in a parcel with your name on that gets posted through your letterbox that says open now. It's not, you know, we have to be receptive and open, because again, this is our growth, being honest about who we are and what we want to do, which leads me on to the next question. Do you actually know who you are? Now, being clear on your goals is understanding where your talents lie, where your gifts lie. You know, the old saying is, isn't it, know thyself. Now, you know, we have to be honest about this for good or bad. You know, I know, for instance, that I have quite an academic brain. I'm a bit of a science nerd, though I don't like the term nerd. When someone accused me of being a nerd in an aggressive manner, I say, actually, no, I prefer the term smarter than you, because it tends to shut them down. But I don't mind being a little bit narky when I have to be. But I know that that's my skill set. I know that I'm also inclined to be a perfectionist, which can also hold me back as an entrepreneur. I also know I'm inclined to be bloody minded and opinionated. Aren't we all sometimes? But that means I can watch out for those traits. It means I can watch out for the things that I'm good at and the things that are going to trip me up. What do you love doing? Because, you know, I was very lucky. I was born with the ability to see energies everywhere around people and in the landscape. So kind of like that was a nudge in the right direction. But that still didn't mean I knew what I wanted to do or how I wanted to use that. So what do you love doing? And sometimes, you know, don't be afraid for this to change over time. You know, once upon a time, I would never have said I'm going to be helping women entrepreneurs. I imagine myself being a professor in university. I may still go there one day, who knows? But, you know, I never imagined myself doing what I do now. So yes, there are essences in what you love doing as a child, but, you know, allow that to change and grow. But it's really not necessarily about what you enjoy doing. It's really about what's important to you. So what values are important to you? Is it, you know, authenticity? Is it integrity? Is it honesty? Is it reciprocity? Is it humour? Is it collaboration? Is it creativity? What values are important to you? You know, I value things like free speech and all the rest of it, which is why I'm very anti-woke movement, you know, the woke culture. There's actually a huge suppression of free speech by trying to push an ideology onto people. As far as free speech is concerned, for instance, everybody can say whatever they like, so long as anybody can say anything back. So even placards saying things like hate speech is not free speech, I would disagree with, because all speech is free. And by giving people the right to say what they want, you can then unpick those arguments. You can then see what's important in society. You can see what the ideology is behind those arguments. But shutting down people's arguments with, oh, that's offensive and I'm triggered, is actually a huge setback to free speech. And it's actually quite a modern phenomenon, all this being triggered, and, you know, it's how you ingest that information. You know, for instance, when I studied women's rights at university and women's studies when we first went into it, you know, there's some of the information we had to read in that about the things that had happened to certain women in terms of sexual abuse or gang rape. You know, nowadays with the woke culture, you'd have people say that offensive, and it triggered me. But you have to deal with these things to, you know, have this conversation. There's something just gone on with my phone. I may well disappear. Let me get a charger in. I think the battery's just died. 1 secondo. If I can get the charger in, which it doesn't appear I can. So what's important to you? I'll keep going. What's important to you? So look at what the values that are important to you. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? Are you a leader? And finally, tune into your higher self. What you are good at, that impetus comes from your higher self. So tune in every day to see, how are you feeling? Just spend a few, 10 seconds 3 times a day tuning in and going, how do I feel? Do I feel like I'm in my own skin? Do I feel like I'm in my own life? Or do I feel like I'm going through the motions? And if you work through all the questions I've given you and tune in to how you feel, that will start to lead you to be able to identify your purpose and take the steps to start to embody it. So if you'd like to learn more about all the kind of things that I do, or some more in-depth training and all sorts of things, then you can come and join my group, the Quantum Success Circle, and I'm running a free 5-day manifestation masterclass starting the 10th of May. So I'll put the link to the group up after this live, and I hope to see you all in there so you can join. And we're going to be going through limiting beliefs, we're going to be going through fear, we're going to go through all the things that hold us back from manifesting the life that we want and living true to our purpose. So I hope to see you all in there. And I can't see comments. Something appears to have gone wrong with my phone this morning. But hey ho, that's technology. So I will see you all again soon. Take care then. Bye.